I think it was an important 3 points, considering recent games and not, finding a way to get a point or three. So, with the LAFC game, good road point in Atlanta, but prior to that, the loss at home to, I believe it was Montreal, was the one previous from that. So it's important to get back in the win column. I was really pleased, up until their goal with just how we, played and managed moments of the game to have some quality going forward, to have some confidence in playing with the ball on the ground. And defensively, I thought we did a pretty good job against the team that knows how to move the ball well and has some quality centrally to be able to cause some problems. So I was really pleased with how we positioned ourselves to get 3 points. I thought, once we conceded the goal, it certainly rattled us because I think we stopped playing a little bit. Started to play a little bit too direct where the moments weren't on to play direct. Didn't have the movement to play out of pressure because they did a good job of starting to throw numbers forward and put us under pressure. And we just didn't handle those moments with a whole lot of quality. So that's the part that we need to still improve as a group, is finding ways to play and stay confident with a lead. But overall, it was an important win for our group.
It just broadened out what my next question was going to be.
Sure.
Just the fact, I was going to look back at LAFC, but you brought in some other matches in the same vein. But you guys were able to close it out today, right, in a way that, obviously it eluded you in past weeks. What was the difference, say, maybe week over week, right, today versus LAFC?
Getting a 2-goal lead is certainly helpful. I think the commitment from our attackers on the defensive side of the ball was effective, and it helped, Junior and Harris, and it helped our back four to make play a little bit more predictable. And I thought we did a really good job of doubling the ball in wide channels to win balls, to then regain possession, look to play it forward. I think, forget what the second part was. There a second part of your question?
No, just like, what was the difference?
Yeah,
you pretty much covered it.
No, but I also think we talked about, that's what it was, the road mentality, and understanding how to navigate challenges on the road when you have to defend for longer stretches against quality opponents. How you have to go after the ball in ways to make teams uncomfortable. I thought that was an improvement in this particular game, compared to maybe some of the other road games where we were dropping and taking on more pressure than was necessary. So I think that was an improvement defensively. So I was pleased with that.
Yeah. You guys did start to drop a little bit around the time Jimenez scored. And then you made a couple pretty impactful substitutions, Brandon and Obi on. I'd like to talk about Obi individually, separately, but was the idea there to flip the field and kind of push them off you guys a little bit?
Well, we wanted some fresh legs. Harris had put in a great shift. We wanted, certainly under these circumstances, to get Obi on the field to help us with ball recovery, to help us connect the next pass forward, to get us out in transition, to get us on the ball in possession. So I thought he did a really good job of breaking up plays centrally. There was a few moments where he was pulled out wide and they were able to play through the middle. But again, this is his first minute, so it's not going to look perfect. But he was outstanding in his ball recovery and in his positioning centrally. Brandon came in, I thought did a decent job of providing energy and running ahead of the ball, but I don't think it was as effective as we've seen. And I think you could see from being off for 2 weeks, maybe him being a little bit rusty, because there was a couple moments in hold-up play where it could have been a little bit better, and just decision-making, where I know he missed out on Lucho on one, in behind with a switch of play. And then, but he did a good job on that last sequence to try to get in behind and find Alvaro. Good unselfish play. Credit to them because they had a pretty good recovery to limit or prevent us from scoring the third goal. So it was nice to have both of those players on the field with some, giving us some fresh legs and some different ideas and how we were defending and then also how we were going to attack. So Nick, at the end of the game, giving us some important minutes. Again, at that stage, it's about getting legs on the field that can still get pressure to the ball. That's why I think we need to be able to have players step in those moments and understand how to see out a game, but not just see out a game by dropping off and allowing teams to just put balls into our box, but by getting effective pressure to the ball so that when we do win the ball and teams are sending numbers, it's just a matter of finding that transition moment to end the game, really. And we had a couple of those moments we just weren't able to convert.
Speaking on Obi specifically, it seemed like he was as good as billed, and he had a transatlantic flight earlier this week. I mean, were you surprised that you mentioned some of the drawbacks, but were you surprised that he was as effective as he was, just given the circumstances? And do you think it's safe to say that like this is his baseline and it'll go up? It'll only go up from here.
It'll go up from here. Again, he's coming from a real league on a team that he's matched up against some very good players and in some great atmospheres. So this isn't a shock to his system. So I think you can see that with how he's closing the ball, how he's brave in those moments to not just win the ball, but pick his head up and find a pass that breaks some pressure. He wasn't rattled by this being his first minutes with a new team. You could see that. So I was very pleased with the minutes that he gave us, and it was no surprise with how he handled it in a professional way.
And Ian's goal, I guess I thought of that as kind of unexpected, just being a rookie, also being a center back. He's not one of the guys you pay to score goals.
Right.
So you get that. It's a good contribution, but then maybe that's not the kind of thing you can bank on week in, week out. How big was it to then get the goal from Lucho?
Well, yeah, speaking first on Ian, it's nice to see us being able to score in different ways. So tonight it was, Ian on the set piece. I thought it was set up nicely and how we got it to that point. Nick does a good job to knock it down, and that was something that these guys have worked on during the week, which is also nice. So in those moments, sometimes it's you might be surprised at who's finishing off those plays, but when you have your center backs up the field on set pieces, it positions them to be able to at times finish plays off. So it was great to see him get his first goal. And then, it was obviously nice to get Lucho scoring again. That's why, again, we push him to be closer to goal. He's able to make the final pass, but certainly in certain moments, like you saw against LAFC and tonight, when he's closer to the goal, his creativity is what's going to have us, scoring goals from different players in different ways, because he's a player that when he's isolated 1v1 can make plays on his own and score goals on his own. So, I thought not just the goal, but he worked his ass off tonight to help us defensively. And, that's part of the run mentality that we talked about and understanding how to get results.
Yeah, let's get into Toronto.
No, Toronto next.
Yeah. So, yeah, like you said on Thursday, I think the schedule is what it is. Nothing to complain about there. But how challenging is it to go out and then face this team again?
It's not ideal, and you want to play teams. At different stages of the season and not have to do it in a 5-day span, so I don't think either team wants to be playing each other, 5 days apart, but that's the reality. And so now it's really just going back and analyzing this game and seeing ways that we were able to be successful. And then, the areas that we were challenged, and understand how we can best expect them to approach the game on Wednesday. So there'll certainly be some things that, will look a little different, but I'm pleased with getting the 3 points in this first game of the two. And now it's about understanding how to approach these coming days to make sure that we have the same approach with more energy, with more quality at home to win in front of our home fans.
I think you'll have at least one player available on Wednesday that you didn't have today. Like, this is I hate when people ask questions in soccer contexts like it's the NFL,
right?
But does giving them a different look, to borrow like an NFL euphemism, does that help in a situation where you're playing the same team back to back?
Yeah, it gives you options to be able to throw something different at a team that you just played. So, and we'll expect potentially the same thing from them, but we'll have I think a couple bodies that we'll see how you guys are doing. We'll see how, Tyler and Jeff are doing to see where, where we need to make changes, if at all. Because I thought this group that was out there today did a very good job to help us get 3 points. So it's a lot to see, how guys recover and, looking at the big picture of these 3 weeks, how we need to manage minutes to make sure that, again, we're putting our best 11 out there to go and win games and be fresh. The last thing I wanted to say was, because I haven't mentioned him, was Alvaro Barrial. He was fantastic tonight. That was a step in the right direction for Alvaro and our group. So, that's what we've been looking for from him, because when he puts in that kind of work and still has, the quality with the ball in certain moments, he's an effective piece for our team. So, it's important that we mention that he had a very strong game for us today.
Looking back at his road to this moment, do you feel like Pittsburgh was kind of where he shot off? Like, how big was that along the way? Or is it just what
playing games and having an impact as far as scoring goals is always important for any player, especially your attacking pieces. But it was unfortunate because he had the setback where he would have been, in that starting lineup against LAFC, but had a bit of a stomach bug, so he wasn't able to be out on the field. So to see him come back, and have an impact like this, showing the signs of growth. And so it's important that we continue moving that direction to help or to have him continue to contribute in meaningful ways.
It's very important. I think so. We take when I score the second goal, maybe we take a more confidence.
Yeah.
So it's very good for the group, and also if they make one goal, you have 2-1. No? Maybe it's very important.
Yeah. It's 2 in 2 weeks for you, goals wise. Do you feel like you're starting to get into a little bit of a groove here?
Yeah, I'm always here. So if I score, because the group, I think so, doing a good performance, no?
Yeah.
And also in myself, I feel like very happy to that.
For Ian to contribute, rookie center back, how big of a lift was that in the first half? Because it seemed like you guys were the better team and you got the reward. So how big was it to get a goal from Ian today?
We are very happy because it's the young guy. He needs that for take more confidence, and so maybe he help us and we help him. If he make a goal, maybe we feel like we a lot of confidence because he's the young guy. He's we ask, and of course we are very happy for him. It's amazing if you score the first goal in a row and we win. This is amazing.
Yeah. Pat mentioned Alvaro. I thought he had a very good game. What did you think of Alvaro's performance? And is it nice to have him back, kind of contributing in a meaningful way again?
So that's what's myself. I'm feel more happy about him because he's my friend, and also he helped a lot with the team, and so I feel like different because he need that, and also we need him, and he's back. He show against Pittsburgh. He's still working, and when you working hard, that's gonna happen.
How strange is it to now have to play Toronto again on Wednesday?
This is crazy. It's crazy, but in that point we like it because we win here. Maybe we take a confidence, but we think about that. You don't need to take a lot of confidence because now we have a game home.
Yeah.
So we have a motivation with the fans. We need to take another 3 points against Toronto.
I don't know. I mean, I obviously saw my reaction. Sort of running back. I didn't expect it, obviously, but like after like last week against LAFC, like when we scored a late goal at the end of the half, I kind of really just was more focused on closing out the game and celebrating everything later. So that was where my mind's at.
Yeah. How you guys weren't able to hang on against LAFC a week later, less than a week later. You guys get the job done in a similar circumstance, kind of. What do you think the difference was week over week?
I mean, I think we've still had the same mentality, like in each case, like we're coming with a good mentality and everything. And I think it's just like little moments that just keep at me, whether it's like little mistakes that will happen from people or just like not being able to finish chances, just stuff like that. And I think like especially like being able to get the second goal before they did was a big thing today.
Yeah. How strange of a circumstance is it in your experience to now have to face Toronto again on Wednesday?
Yeah, no, I was kind of I just found that out honestly a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
I was like, face who on Wednesday? Toronto? Okay. Yeah, no, it's gonna be weird, but obviously like we've gone over the film, obviously, like they're gonna think of different ways to try to break us down and we have to do the same. So I mean it's obviously weird, but we'll be back in Cincinnati, so that'll be good.
Yeah. You've been kind of thrown into the fire a little bit here the last few weeks. How has it been for you to kind of get thrust into a very important starting role and also performing?
Yeah, no,
you've done it.
Yeah. Thank you. No, I mean, kind of just my mindset, like going into like these games recently has just been like just trying to do the job, fill in, help the team. Because obviously, like with first Jeff was out, I think, and then it was me and Nick against Pittsburgh, and then me and Tyler against LFC when Nick got the red card, and then today me and Nick again. But yeah, just wanted to just fill in and help the team any way I could, because obviously those three guys are great center backs.
How difficult was that? Like what you said is absolutely right. You played with 3 different center back pairings, I think you said. And being a first year guy too, I guess maybe still learning some of their tendencies a little bit.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously like I play with them in training.
Yeah.
And I think that was like, I think it's been like good that, I've had like at least like a little bit of time to in practice, like obviously behind closed doors. So like just work like the kinks out and everything. And I feel like that's helped. And obviously like I still have a long ways to go and everything, but I feel like that's definitely helped me out in this situation.
And maybe you could just help me out with this one. I'd like to ask you about Obi, because he came in and I thought kind of flipped the field a little bit, kind of maybe pushed Toronto's lines back and was just winning tackles. Was that, look, you've dealt with the transition into this league. Were you impressed by what he was able to do first appearance? He had a transatlantic flight, like.
Yeah,
earlier this week.
I think it's crazy because like he just got in. I think he got in pretty late, and then he was just there the next day. And I was really impressed by him in training. But like obviously like I've seen like some clips and everything of him and that. So I knew he was going to be good. But like seeing it in person was crazy because he's a really good player. He's a really good player.
All right.